Further afield, Australia plans to introduce a legislation to ban children under 16 years from social media. Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the proposed laws to be tabled in Parliament next week were aimed at mitigating the harm social media was inflicting on Australian children. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines from other parts of the world.
The details are yet to be debated. Australia's government said the ban will not apply to young people already on social media. There will be no exemptions on the age limit for children who have consent from their parents. Australia says the onus will be on social media platforms to show they are taking responsible steps to prevent access. The legislation would come into force 12 months after it passes and be subject to review. While most experts agree that social media platforms can harm the mental health of adolescents, many are split over the efficacy of trying to outlaw them altogether. Some experts argue that bans only delay young people's exposure to apps such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, instead of teaching them how to navigate complex online spaces. Meanwhile, India's fuel demand rose 2.9% in October, as sales of gasoline or petrol were 8.6% higher than a year earlier at 3.41 million tons. Diesel consumption was up 0.1% and totaled 7.64 million tons in October. Cooking gas or liquefied petroleum gas sales increased 9.3% to 2.73 million tons, while naphtha sales fell 1.1% to 1.18 million tons. Sales of bitumen used for making roads were 7.2% lower, while fuel oil rose 23.4% in October. Finally, Ivory Coast, which is the world's largest cocoa producer and exporter, is exploring ways to change the traditional economic model of exporting raw cocoa beans and achieve industrial upgrading. An industrial park in the outskirts of Abidjan is set to be completed by the end of this year. The project will largely enhance the cocoa processing capacity of Ivory Coast and help the country train more skilled workers to promote the sustainable development of the cocoa industry. Ivory Coast produces over 2 million tons of cocoa beans annually, accounting for 40% of the world's total production. About 8 million people in the country work in the cocoa and relevant industries. Winslow Spamba for Lunchtime News.